After being compelled to sell Giphy to Shutterstock, Meta incurred a loss of 87%. After 3 years of searching, Meta has successfully found a buyer who is willing to purchase Giphy, the animated GIF search engine that they had acquired for $400 million. Today it was announced by Shutterstock that they have entered into a purchasing agreement with Meta to acquire Giphy. The deal will involve the payment of $53 million in net cash at the closing of the transaction. This amount only amounts to 13% of Facebook's investment in the company, indicating a significant loss. The deal is expected to be finalized next month. In addition, Meta has signed a commercial agreement that allows them to continue utilizing Giphy's content across their product suite. Approximately 7 months following the UK's antitrust authorities' issuance of a final order for Meta to divest from Giphy, the announcement was made. The order was given due to the reduction of dynamic competition caused by the merger. The Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, initially mandated the sale back in November of 2021, but due to an appeals process, the sale was postponed for almost another year. Last October, Meta agreed to stop appealing and reluctantly decided to sell Giphy, but the divestment process did not begin until January of this year, when the CMA issued its final order. This order provided a limited amount of time for Meta to sell its asset, which is believed to have been around 6 months, indicating that Meta had to act quickly to close a deal. Meta was required to sell Giphy in its entirety as part of the sale conditions, rather than breaking it up into separate pieces. Additionally, they had to identify a suitable buyer, an entity that would ensure Giphy continued to function as a GIF search engine. The CMA held the ultimate authority in determining the permissible purchaser for Giphy. Recently, the acquisition of Meta Giphy has gained significant attention again, particularly after the CMA's decision to block Microsoft's Activision acquisition in April, which was further highlighted when the deal was approved by the UK's European counterpart in Brussels 3 weeks later. The United Kingdom's recent adoption of a more stringent antitrust policy is evident. Although Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision for $68.7 billion is a distinct matter, it is expected to have a more complex legal process with various appeals. However, it appears that the UK is attempting to compensate for previous oversights, as numerous significant tech acquisitions were approved by regulators without much scrutiny. Shutterstock has outlined its intention to make acquisitions a key part of its short-term strategy, as stated by CFO Jared Yars in February. The company's aim was to expand into different types of content. The acquisition of Giphy by Meta in the UK could not have come at a more opportune moment for Shutterstock, as it presented the chance to purchase a well-liked GIF platform at a reduced price. Shutterstock found itself in a relatively advantageous negotiating position during the acquisition. In most cases, sellers will attempt to present themselves as strong to obtain the highest possible price, but in this case, potential buyers were aware of Meta's vulnerable position. In essence, a fire sale was always a probable outcome, especially since Giphy was not established as a robust business on its own. Instead, its value seemed to lie in its ability to increase user engagement on existing platforms. Meta's current situation is a result of its own actions, according to Tom Smith, a former legal director at the CMA who is now a partner at Gerardin Partners, a law firm based in London. As per his statement, the decision to finalize the merger prior to receiving clearance from the CMA was made by Facebook. He further noted that the UK is one of the few countries where companies are permitted to conclude mergers without regulatory approval. However, this can lead to complications in the future if the authorities decide to examine the agreement more closely. Smith cautioned that although it is possible to finalize the merger, there are potential consequences. If the merger is completed, there is a chance that the CMA, Competition and Markets Authority, may launch an investigation afterwards. This could result in difficulties for the company, including being forced to keep the two entities separate, and potentially even being required to sell the newly acquired company. Although Shutterstock has been delving deeper into the domain of AI, the company still relies on conventional human-generated stock imagery as its primary source of revenue. It is not difficult to imagine how GIFs would augment this business model. Following the announcement, The company declared that the acquisition will enable it to augment its content library by incorporating GIFs and stickers to appeal to advertisers and brands, as well as expanding its reach to the consumer market. The company further stated that this purchase will reinforce its growing strategy of generative AI and metadata. In a press release, Paul Hennessy, the CEO of Shutterstock, commented on the company's acquisition of Giphy. By adding Giphy to its portfolio, Shutterstock is diversifying its reach beyond the professional marketing and advertising markets and branching out into everyday conversations. Giphy's vast library of GIF and sticker content allows individuals to express themselves in unique and memorable ways, while also providing an opportunity for brands to participate in casual conversations. As Shutterstock introduces this offering to its customers, it plans to take advantage of its distinct capabilities in content and metadata monetization, generative AI, studio production, and creative automation to commercialize its GIF library. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.